when I found out Julian had extended his out-of-town project for another 7 years. I left New York and traveled hours to reach his project site, only to be stopped at the gate by an older guard.
Hello, does Julian work here?
What do you want with my son-in-law?
The words hit me like a thunderclap. I told myself it was a coincidence. Same name, different man.
Relax, Mr. Miller. Everyone around here knows. Julian is totally whipped. She's probably here on business from corporate.
I kept my composure and pulled up a photo of Julian on my phone.
I am here on business. Is this the Julian you're talking about?
The old man relaxed.
Yeah, that's him. That's my son-in-law.
The blood in my veins froze. Before I could process a single word, a woman appeared, well-dressed, smiling.
You here to talk business with my man?
She asked cheerfully.
Come wait at our place. Our son's got a fever. He took him to the hospital in town.
I stared at her, thunderstruck, barely able to breathe. She noticed I wasn't moving and waved me over.
I'm Julian's wife, Mia. Just call me Mia.
She was warm and talkative, smile never leaving her face.
There's nothing but rough guys around here, and half of them don't know how to act. A woman shouldn't be standing around alone out here. Come on back to the house. He'll be a while.
She reached out and touched my arm, and I followed her. I watched her as we walked. She looked more than 10 years younger than Julian.
Lord, you women from New York really are something else. Look at that skin. Smooth as a peeled egg. My man's got skin just like yours, all soft and clear.
I forced a smile. Julian and I both had good skin. I was older than Mia by a fair margin, but I'd taken care of myself. I still looked like I was in my mid-20s. No one would guess I'd been married for 12 years. But what did any of that matter? I had a career, raised our son, looked after his parents, managed everything on my own. And my husband had still gone and built an entirely different life out here behind my back. Mia talked the whole way. She didn't seem to need a response. A couple on a motorcycle slowed down as they passed us. The woman on the back held out a small paper bag.
Your man thinks of everything. Takes the kid to the doctor and still remembers you wanted chestnuts. Asked me to drop these off. Your husband really does take care of you,
I said, keeping my voice even. The woman on the motorcycle laughed.
Everyone knows Julian is totally whipped. Julian turns into a whole different man the second Mia gives him a look. One tear and he's done.
Mia shook her head and smiled.
Oh, stop it.
A bitter ache welled up inside me. My husband, the man who had spent 12 years talking to me about equality in marriage, about respect and partnership. That man had come out here and made himself completely, voluntarily, another woman's lapdog. Mia's house stopped me in my tracks. It was a massive villa. Nothing like the other houses around it. Distinctive, well-built, clearly the only one of its kind in town.
My man built it,
she said.
Nobody else around here has anything like it. And he's the first husband in town to move in with his wife's family.
Moved in with her family? The moment I stepped into the living room, I saw it. A framed family portrait on the wall. 6 people, everyone smiling. A boy who looked about 5, a little girl, maybe 3. We had a portrait just like it hanging in our apartment back in New York, except ours only had 3 people, Julian, me, and our 10-year-old son. No daughter. The year Julian first left for this project, he had cupped my face in his hands and made me a promise.
2 years max. I'll find a way to transfer back. And when I do, if you're up for it, we'll try for a second baby. After that, we'll never be apart again.
2 years became 7. He came home for a few days every Christmas, and that was all we got. Last year, when he was home for the holidays, I mentioned offhand how I still wished we'd had a daughter. He brushed it off.
Honestly, with the way things are, smart people aren't having more kids. 1 is enough.
I thought he'd simply changed his mind. Turns out, he already had his daughter. He just hadn't had her with me.
We've got Wi-Fi, password's 990913. My man set it to my birthday,
Mia said, already heading to the kitchen. She came back with a cup of tea and set it in front of me, still smiling. Something jolted in my chest. Julian had told me there was no reliable internet signal out here. That was why I could never reach him directly. He always had to be the one to contact me first. I connected to the network. Full bars, one lie after another, each one like a blade going in clean. I kept my voice easy.
You two seem really happy. Does it worry you that he might get transferred back to New York someday?
Mia's smile didn't waver.
Not at all. They almost pulled him back earlier this year. He called in every favor he had to stay.
My heart dropped like it had been thrown off a cliff. It wasn't the company keeping him out here, he had fought to stay. Although he had, knowing his mother had suffered a stroke and couldn't care for herself. Although he had, knowing his father had broken his leg in a fall and needed help. Although he had, knowing our son had cried more than once over missing his father. Although he had, knowing I had been worn down by work and family until I ended up in the hospital more than once. And he had stayed anyway, comfortably, contentedly. A chill ran through me, my shoulders trembling slightly. Mia crossed the room and switched on the air conditioning, thinking I was cold.
It'll warm up in a minute. My husband bought me the best air conditioner, a big brand name.
She said everything about Julian casually, warmly.
Nobody else in town has one. I didn't even want it. I told him it was too much, but he insisted.
I kept the smile on my face.
He's quite a bit older than you. Is this his second marriage? "10 years older. We are both getting married for the first time."
Mia smiled.
I'm the lucky one. A girl like me, barely finished high school, ending up with a man who has a master's degree. He's the project manager for the whole development. I never imagined I'd end up married to someone like that. But instead, he says meeting me was the best thing that ever happened to him.
She kept talking.
The age gap's a good thing. Older men is responsible at work and at home. Every paycheck goes straight to me.
Bitterness welled up in my chest. For years, Julian had been transferring money back to our joint account every month, only left $1,000 for himself. He told me his housing and meals were covered, that he barely needed anything for himself out here. I had a college roommate who worked in payroll department of his company. Years ago, I quietly confirmed his monthly salary, once $11,000.
He takes good care of the whole family.
I said,
God, yes! My mom has a bad back. He bought her that massage chair without blinking. My dad likes his whiskey, so Julian keeps cases of the good top shelf stuff stocked for him.
She added,
and he gives me a separate allowance every month for whatever I want.
She said the number plainly. I heard it, and I knew Julian had been taking the bribes. The bitterness turned colder, not just for myself, but for his parents, who had no idea. 3 months ago, his mother had nearly died. Mia hung up and turned to me with a smile.
I just realized I never asked your name. Chloe. What a pretty name.
She was as cheerful as ever. Even now, I was still giving her the benefit of the doubt that she had no idea, just as deceived as I was.
Since Julian won't be back tonight,
she said,
why don't you just stay? You can talk to him about the work stuff tomorrow.
That evening, Mia cooked a full dinner, a proper spread, balanced and generous. I met their daughter for the first time. Mr. and Mrs. Miller were polite to me, but there was a wariness in the way they looked at me. At the table, the conversation kept coming back to Julian. The way they talked about him, he wasn't a son-in-law. He was their son. Mia was their an only child. In a rural area like this, her parents had spent their whole lives looked down on for not having a son. Then Julian arrived, moved in, supported the whole family. Mrs. Miller said,
Julian is the backbone of this family. We can't do without him.
Something lodged in my throat, like a thorn I couldn't remove. The backbone of our family, gone for 7 years, had been holding up someone else's the whole time. Mia put me in the guest room for the night. After the lights went out, I lay there unable to sleep. Through the wall, I could hear Mr. and Mrs. Miller talking quietly for a long time. I made 2 decisions. I filed a report with documentation, within evidence to Julian's corporate headquarters. Then I sent my brother a message. He was a police officer. I'm going to need you to come make an arrest. Julian broke the law. Neither decision felt satisfying, but both were right, and accounting for my own life, a consequence he had earned. The next morning, Mia pulled a coat from her closet and held it out to me.
It's cold and you're not dressed for it.
She added quickly,
My husband just bought this for me. Only been washed once, never worn.
A designer label I had spent an entire winter looking at, adding to my cart, removing it, telling myself there were more important things to spend money on, parents to care for, a child to raise. I used to say things like that to Julian.
Other husbands buy their wives things. In all these years, you've never once picked something out for me.
He always had the same answer, calm and easy.
The money's yours. I wouldn't know what to choose anyway. I'm no good with that kind of thing.
He just didn't want to bother. Not for me.
Thank you.
I said, and took it. It was beautiful. It was warm. A flash of surprise crossing Mia's face. She had clearly expected me to politely refuse. At breakfast, she was back to her usual self, cheerful, talkative, dropping Julian's name into every other sentence. At one point, she looked at me and asked,
Are you happy?
I smiled lightly.
It's fine. My husband just isn't as attentive as yours.
She smiled widely at that. Then just before noon, the front door swung open. Julian's voice filled the house.
Honey, I'm home.
Mia and I both stood up from the couch. He walked in with their 5-year-old son. The moment his eyes landed on me, he went rigid. I looked at him steadily.
Which honey are you talking to?
Julian's face locked up. He stood there holding the boy and said absolutely nothing. I held his gaze. My eyes said everything I didn't speak aloud. Why? How could you? Do you have any idea what you've done to your son, to your parents? He was an only child. His whole life they had sacrificed everything for him, and he had walked away from all of it and quietly become the son of someone else's family. I would never understand it. I would never forgive it. Mia broke first. What does that mean? Her voice cracked. She grabbed my arm, then turned to Julian. Why is she asking you that? The paralysis broke from Julian's face. He quickly set the boy down. He took a few steps forward, then stopped, caught exactly halfway between us, unable to choose a direction. I'll explain everything, he said weakly. Explain what? I kept my voice level. That our 12-year marriage is nothing but an empty shell. That you have no parents, no son, or that you, a married man, have been living out here as another woman's husband, and you're ready to file for divorce so she can finally have your last name? Every word landed. He had no answer. He looked like a man caught with nowhere to run. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, he finally said. I'm sorry. Mia fell apart. Sorry? What does that mean for me? She was crying now, fully. You said I was everything to you. You said I was your life. Say something, tell me what's happening right now. And then Julian turned away from me and moved to pull her into his arms. My heart was bleeding. Fury rose through me. Then what are you saying? I demanded. He let go of her. He didn't dare hold her again. He stood there looking cornered, miserable, caught between two directions with no good move left. In the silence, my phone rang. Julian's father, a video call. I answered without hesitating and switched to the rear camera. Have you found Julian yet? The old man's voice was full of hope. He hadn't seen his son in almost 2 years. I walked the phone slowly across the living room until the camera landed on the family portrait on the wall, all 6 of them, all smiling. Found him, I said, along with his new wife, his new son, his new daughter, his new family. I turned the camera to Julian and Mia. This is his other home. He moved in with her family. He's been taking care of them for years. I heard my father-in-law's sharp intake of breath. For a moment, he was too furious to speak. Dad, meet the new family. The old man erupted. Julian, is this what you've been doing? This? You have no regard for your mother and me. No regard for your wife and son. Are you trying to put me in the grave? Julian snapped. He lunged for the phone. Turn it off. Stop filming. Just stop. I no longer have a son, his father shouted from the screen. Do you hear me? I have no son. In the middle of it all, Mr. and Mrs. Miller walked through the front door. I ended the call. The moment Mr. and Mrs. Miller understood who I was, Mr. Miller spoke first. If Julian chose to marry my daughter and have children with her, that tells you everything about where he stands. End it clean and move on. We're not giving him up. Mrs. Miller nodded. I've treated Julian like he and Mia love each other. That's not going to change. I turned to Julian. And what do you say? He had been staring at the floor. When my eyes finally forced his head up, he hesitated, then asked me slowly, do you still want me back? Before I could answer, Mia flew across the room. She dropped to the floor in front of him and grabbed his collar. What kind of question is that? If she still wants you, does that mean you'll throw me away? Julian, if you dare leave this family, I'll take the kids and end it all. I mean it. She gave you 1 child. I gave you 2. I have given you more. Julian pulled her up and tried to calm her. I just need to know what I laughed hollowly to myself. Then deliberately, I said, I want you to come home. Cut everything here off. For good. I knew exactly what he was doing. He was waiting for me to make the choice for him, sure that someone like me, with my standards, would never accept a man who had done this. He expected me to say, I want a divorce, and hand him his exit. When I didn't, surprise flickered across his face. Even a trace of disappointment. I stared at him. Now it's your turn to choose. His lips moved from the day he walked into this house. He and Mia love each other. That's not going to change. I turned to Julian. And what do you say? He had been staring at the floor. When my eyes finally forced his head up, he hesitated, then asked me slowly, do you still want me back? Before I could answer, Mia flew across the room. She dropped to the floor in front of him and grabbed his collar. What kind of question is that? If she still wants you, does that mean you'll throw me away? Julian, if you dare leave this family, I'll take the kids and end it all. I mean it. She gave you one child. I gave you two. I have given you more. Julian pulled her up and tried to calm her. I just need to know what she... I laughed hollowly to myself. Then deliberately, I said, I want you to come home. Cut everything here off. For good. I knew exactly what he was doing. He was waiting for me to make the choice for him, sure that someone like me, with my standards, would never accept a man who had done this. He expected me to say, I want a divorce, and hand him his exit. When I didn't, surprise flickered across his face. Even a trace of disappointment. I stared at him. Now it's your turn to choose. His lips moved. Nothing came out. Mia shook him by the arm, crying, say something. You said I'm the love of your life. You said you'd grow old with me. Say it to her face. Julian had no choice. He looked at me with pleading eyes. Could we just keep things the way they are? The way they are? I stared at him, cold. He wanted to keep both of us. My look made him too ashamed to repeat himself. You stay out here and keep playing husband? I go back to New York, take care of your parents, raise our son alone, run your whole life from the background while you enjoy this one? He had nothing to say, but I could see it in his face. That was exactly what he'd hoped for. Mia grabbed his arm again, sobbing. If you don't choose this family, I'll take these kids and die in front of you. You promised me we'd grow old together. You can't abandon us. She pulled both children over to her, crying. Ask your daddy, she said to them. Ask him if he's going to keep you. The two children didn't understand what was happening, but seeing Mia cry, they cried too, crowding into Julian's arms, heartbroken. Daddy, please don't leave us. Daddy, Mommy's crying. You always said you can't stand to see Mommy cry. Please. Julian finally broke. He pulled all three of them into his arms. His eyes went red. Then he looked at me. He had made his decision. Chloe, I'm sorry. I know you can manage on your own. I know you'll be okay. He swallowed. She can't. She has nothing without me. He glanced at Mia and the children, then back at me. Take everything in the house. I won't fight you for custody, but this is the choice I have to make. I'm asking you to let us go. I'm asking you to let us go. I laughed, not from humor, from the absurdity of what I was hearing. She's the one to be pitied? What about your mother, who had a stroke and can't care for herself, who wants nothing more than to see her own son? What about your father, who broke his leg and needed you home and never once said a word about the fact that you didn't come? What about your son, who gets mocked at school for not having a father around, who has cried more times than I can count? As I spoke, tears fell from my eyes. Not for him. Never again for him. Only because a man like this was never worth everything our family had given him. Julian stood there in silence. Shame was written across his entire face. Mia filled the gap. Don't worry, she said, looking at me. I'll bring his parents here. I'll take care of them myself. You don't need to concern yourself with any of it. Then her eyes hardened. And you knew who I was from the very beginning, didn't you? You sat there and let me talk, and you were just collecting evidence. What kind of person does that? I smiled at her, contemptuous. Then I called Julian's parents back right there and told them in front of everyone what Julian had chosen. His mother's voice shook with fury. If you divorce Chloe, You are not Julian had chosen. His mother's voice shook with fury. If you divorce Chloe, you are not my son. Do you understand me? She has done everything for this family, for us, while you were gone, and you want to throw her away? I will never accept that woman and those children. I don't know them, and I never will. Julian's father said the same. Mia broke down crying. Julian was at his breaking point. I ended the call. He wiped his eyes, couldn't look at me, and finally said, Chloe, I have no right to ask anything of you, but name your terms. Whatever I can give you, I will. Mia knelt down in front of me. Please, you're educated, you're capable, you're beautiful. You'll find someone better than him. I can't. He is all I have. She pulled both children over. Kneel down, she told them softly. Ask her to let your daddy stay. Two small faces turned up toward me. Please, madam, don't take our daddy. Our family needs a daddy, otherwise it won't be whole. She was using the children to work on my conscience. Anger surged through me. Your children need a father and mine doesn't? Mia hesitated, then said, a little wounded, your child is older. Mine are still small. I laughed. The truth is, none of these children, yours or mine, will have a father from here on out. Both Julian and Mia looked up sharply, not understanding. Not until my brother walked through the door with local police officers behind him and Julian's boss and two company directors right after. Only then did Julian understand. I had never intended to give him a choice, and I was certainly not going to let them walk away clean. The sight of so many strangers sent both children into tears. An officer quietly asked Mrs. Miller to take them to another room. Julian stood still, calm, as if he had always known this day would come. Mia was anything but. What is this? You have no right to come in here and take my husband. When no one responded to her satisfaction, she turned all of it on me. Her pointing finger trembled. You call yourself a decent person? He already told you. You can have everything. What more do you want from him? He's your son's father. How can you be this heartless? Stop. Julian touched her arm. I looked at her and said plainly, everything you've been wearing, living in, eating, that money didn't just come out of my pocket. It was dirty. It came from fraud and corruption. You told me yourself what he was giving you every month. That figure is exactly what I used as evidence. You handed it to me yourself. Told me yourself what he was giving you every month. That figure is exactly what I used as evidence. You handed it to me yourself. Julian freezed. His boss stepped forward, his disappointment total. I trusted you with this entire project. Bribery, kickbacks, substandard materials, embezzlement of public funds. I gave you everything, and this is what you did with it. Julian kept his eyes on the floor and said nothing. Mia spun toward the officers and grabbed one by the arm. We'll pay it all back, every cent. Just please, he's a father. We have children. Please give him one more chance. Ma'am, the officer's voice was firm. This is a criminal investigation. Repayment is not the issue, I said calmly. And while that's being sorted out, Mia, you should probably find yourself a lawyer. What you and Julian have constitutes bigamy. That's a separate charge. She went white. Julian finally looked up. His control snapped. Everything I did, I'll take responsibility for all of it. But she had nothing to do with any of it. She didn't know. Why are you going after her? I smiled, cold and contemptuous. Inside, the hatred was overwhelming enough that I wanted to strike him across the face. And then, right at the peak of it, I felt it all drain away into something vast and empty. None of this is worth anything. She didn't know, I said. She knew I was your wife. She brought me home deliberately to force the confrontation, to pressure you into a divorce. And if she hadn't bragged about the $50,000 a month, I wouldn't have had the evidence I needed. Julian stared at Mia, stunned, demanding the truth. Mia shook her head frantically. I didn't know she was going to report you. I never thought she would. I played a recording. Julian's face drained of color at the first two sentences. Julian's going to have to go back and deal with his wife eventually. Even if he drags his feet, Mia will raise hell until he files. She's not the type to share. Mr. Miller's voice, unmistakable. Then Mrs. Miller's. Look at that woman. She sat here and took it all without a word. Either she has no backbone, or she's playing a very long game. Oh, she's playing a game. But it won't matter. Julian has no feelings for her anymore. Mia just has to cry, and he'll sign the papers. You know why Mia brought her home, right? To light the fuse herself. Julian's expression moved from shock to disbelief, to a deep, exhausted disappointment. He looked at Mia. So you knew all along that I was married. You brought her here on purpose, to force my hand. Mia couldn't argue her way out of it. She broke down and admitted it through tears. I just wanted you to belong to me completely. What's wrong with that? I never thought she'd go this far. I never thought she'd actually... Mr. Miller, who had said nothing until now, opened his mouth and immediately began deflecting blame. If you weren't so spineless and indecisive, none of this would have happened. Now you've brought this on yourself. What happens to the children? What happens to Mia? What are we supposed to do? How do we ever show our faces around here again? Julian suddenly laughed. As he laughed, tears slipped from the corners of his eyes. His face was full of helpless, exhausted disbelief at how stupid Mia had been. For a moment, he genuinely didn't know who to blame. He kept his head down the entire walk to the police car. Outside, people had gathered, then more from neighboring streets. By the time the officers walked Julian out, over 1,000 people were watching, all of them there to see the most famously devoted husband in town taken away in handcuffs. His wife back in New York is beautiful, educated, a professor, I heard, and he threw all of that away for this? Men are never satisfied. Doesn't matter how good things are at home. He did everything Mia said, never questioned her once, and he was rotten the whole time. Mia knew he was married. Brought his wife here herself to force a divorce. Backfired, didn't it? Tried to steal another woman's husband and burned her own life down. At the police car door, Julian stopped. He turned and found me in the crowd. Take care of yourself, he said quietly. I'm sorry, Chloe. Find someone who deserves you. I looked at him. I said nothing. He got in. Mia ran after the car, stumbling, falling, picking herself up and running again, pounding on the windows, screaming his name until it turned the corner and disappeared. She came back and collapsed at my feet. Please. She was on her knees in front of everyone, past caring who saw. Please help him. You're educated. You understand how this works better than I do. I don't care about anything else anymore. I just need him not to go to prison. She held on to the hem of my coat. Believe me or don't, but I did love him. That part was real. I looked at her calmly. The hatred I had carried into this situation was gone. She kept going, her voice breaking. I genuinely didn't know he was married when we first got together. I found out when our son was almost a year old. I found a photo of you on his phone. By then, I was already in too deep. The children, this house, my parents, we were all depending on him. I didn't know what to do. I know nothing I say matters now. I'm only asking if there's anything you can do. She didn't get up. She just stayed there on the ground in front of everyone, her hand clutching my coat, not caring about the stairs. I reached down and removed her hand. I looked at her. You know what your tears mean to me? I said quietly. Crocodile tears. She blinked up at me. Then she folded over and wept into the ground, and I walked away. I did not soften. I pressed forward with every charge, including bigamy. Julian's parents never blamed me. They supported every decision I made. My son did not take it well. He spent months in therapy, struggling to accept that his father had another family out there, other children, living a parallel life. It took a long time. 6 months later, Mia was sentenced to 1 year for bigamy. Julian's sentencing came 3 months after that. The court found that he had embezzled nearly $97 million, taken over $10 million in bribes, paid out $60 million in kickbacks, misused $20 million in public funds, violated construction regulations, and committed bigamy. Multiple charges, concurrent sentencing, 11 years. He asked to see me the day he was taken in. I didn't go. I sent my lawyer to handle the divorce. Julian's parents were good to me and my son until the end. Before they passed, they transferred both of their properties into my son's name and left everything they had to us. I kept my promise to them regardless. I cared for them, and I was there when they left. In the 7th year of Julian's sentence, they both passed. His mother went first, another stroke. too severe to survive. His father followed the next day. They had been devoted to each other their entire lives. He simply could not face a morning without her. I arranged a proper funeral for both of them. I had my lawyer notify Julian. He sent back one message through the attorney. "Thank you. Can I see you?" I didn't respond. My son was accepted to an Ivy League school the following year. That, more than anything, let me breathe. I heard Mia remarried about 3 years after her release, a divorced man with 2 children of his own. She moved on. I moved on too. My son played matchmaker. He introduced me to the single father of one of his college friends. By then, I wasn't looking for anything grand. What I found instead was someone steady, someone present, someone who picked up when I called. We agreed from the start, no children together. We weren't starting over from scratch. We were 2 people who chose to share the rest of the road. 3 years into that marriage, Julian was released. He came to find me. 11 years had not been kind to him. He looked far older than a man his age should. Worn down, diminished, nothing left of the confidence he used to carry. He stood at my door and asked quietly, "Chloe, is there any way I could come home?" I looked at him. "I took your advice," I said. "I found someone good. I married him.